VanLifeChef here today. We are stuck in the rain and we have no chocolate chips and we have no eggs, but we want some cookies. So what we are going to do is going to make a cookie batter that has no eggs in it. It has pretty minimal sugar. It uses a little bit of oil, and instead of chocolate chips we're going to add some cocoa powder because that's what we have left over. Through our quick ingredient list, I want about a half cup brown sugar, quarter cup of white sugar, a half cup of butter, and you want to make sure it's nice and soft. I just put this one in the oven for a little bit, just near it with the door open, just so it could melt a little bit better. What we're going to do is we're going to cream that, which is a pretty essential first step. Creaming the sugar and the butter together is what makes a nice smooth cookie batter, and we're going to show you each step of the way, and then we're going to get these guys in the oven and get them cooking. So we're going to start creaming our butter and our sugar together. So you want that half cup of butter. Make sure it's nice and soft. This one probably could have cooked a little bit longer in the oven to melt it down, but that's okay. It's going to get warm when we cream it together anyway. When you're creaming it, if you don't have a mixer, a wooden spoon is probably going to be the best thing to use because you're not going to break it. It has some strength still. You can use the back of it like a mixer. Been mixing this for a little bit now. You can see that the butter is starting to soften up. When you're mixing it, this is why I like a wooden spoon. Tilt your bowl and roll the spoon. And that's going to have a similar effect to when you're putting something in a mixer the way that you would normally with a cookie batter. And it really smooths it out. Makes it nice. You're going to notice that it's all starting to remove from the sides when you mix it. It means you're almost there. Keep going a little bit. I still have a little tiny chunk of butter there, so you just want to make sure that all of the butter is gone. And you want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. So we're on to the flour part. So remember, we have a half cup of brown sugar, a quarter cup of white sugar, and it's going to be about a cup and a half of flour. So I have a half measuring cup. I'm going to do 3 of them. Get yourself a strainer or a sifter or anything, especially if you're going to try baking in the van or baking at all. You should always, always, always strain your flour and sift your flour. It just stops clumps from happening. We've mixed together our flour after we sifted it. I put about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm hoping that's going to make them nice and dark and chocolatey. There was some chunks in the cocoa powder, so I threw those in there as well. I also put 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Next up, what you want to make sure you do is, the reason why I separated these two is normally when you're making cookies and you want to cream your sugar and cream your butter, you want all of the moist ingredients to go together first, and then you want to keep all of your dry ingredients separate and get all of your dry ingredients nice and mixed together before you combine the 2 of them. That's going to stop you from having clumps of flour in your cookies or something like that. And then here, waiting to loosen this up as I mix it together, is about 2 tablespoons of oil. I used olive oil because that's what we have in the truck today. You don't always get to pick all your ingredients when you're cooking out of a van. And about a tablespoon of water and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're going to mix in our creamed butter and sugar and our flour. We're going to start pulling that together first. Pull it down from the sides. Try not to go too fast or you will make a mess in your van like that. So the recipe like this as well. Sometimes you can start out with your spoon, but at the end of the day, using your hand to mix it is going to work so much better. It allows you to feel where there's more pockets of moisture and make sure that you get it fully mixed together. You can use your fist, you can grab it, you can squeeze it, you can move it. It's just going to change the way it comes out. It's going to make it so much easier on you. So keep on mixing it. This one is a little bit dry. You can see that once it's mixed together, it's crumbling apart a little bit. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water to this, and we're going to see what kind of consistency it brings me. Just a little bit of water goes a long way. Now we have a little bit nicer of a consistency. You can see it actually stays together. You want to be able to pinch it and have it hold shape. So what we're going to do now is make nice, even, consistent shapes to bake. So this is the oven that we have. This is Camp Chef. It does run off 1 liter propane. We always vent it with the door while we're cooking for safety, and we also have a carbon monoxide detector on the other side of the van. will also work for our heater. So it's pretty safe to use. We've never had any problems with it. We always monitor it. Works great. It's got a little temperature gauge, so I have it up around 400 right now because it can cool off when you put stuff inside of it. And it's all the way down, so we're gonna try to keep it around 350, 400. If I was to cook something normally at 350, I'd probably cook it around 375 in this oven just to kind of to balance it out. Nice and firm on the outsides, but still soft in the middle. That's how we want those. Cooling rack is actually a rack for cooking on fires outside, which we're gonna have some more episodes of that coming up as soon as the rain goes away in Vancouver. Like the video, make sure you subscribe. VanLifeChef, we're going to be having weekly videos coming out for you. All nice, simple, healthy, awesome, quick, delicious recipes. Stay tuned. There's lots more to come.